Game of Thrones. Okay, basically, I started reading this because the TV show has just come out. The kind of rule with books that get turned into movies is that the books are always better, so just read the book. However, Game of Thrones really works as a TV show. I know movies tend to have a lot higher budget than TV shows. A lot of books, they'd be better TV shows than movies because the TV shows give them more time, which I think is a lot better for them, really. They need time more than money. I mean, there's no way the plot of Game of Thrones could be squeezed into an hour and a half or a 2-hour long movie, whereas the 10 episode TV show it's being at the moment is very, very good. I'm saying this not being in the situation, but I would much prefer to produce something which is truer to a book I'd written rather than earn more money from it. Let's see how that goes in 10 years' time when I'm a famous author. Anyway, I've just finished the Game of Thrones book, and I need the next one now. Game of Thrones is your stereotypical epic fantasy novel. You're given about 100 characters, all who are lords or ladies or knights or magicians. Actually, this book is quite low on magic for a fantasy. I mean, there are some things about dragons and some things about kind of White Walkers, basically zombies. There's no order of mages, as there seems to be in most of your stereotypical medieval fantasy books. It's one of those kind of fantasy books that, just as you're getting really into the story, it suddenly switches to a character who's in another world, or part of the world. And it's really annoying in that sense, in that you kind of want to find out what's happened to someone else, but by the time you get back to them, you're interested in the person the narrative's just switched to. But I guess that's good in that it builds a lot of suspense. Game of Thrones is very good. The only problem is you get to like the characters so much and then the author kills them all. The author's really not afraid of killing main characters, of brutally killing them right where the audience can see, of killing beloved characters, or killing and raping small innocent characters. Also, George R.R. Martin, what is it with incest? Everyone in your book seems to have incest with someone they're related to. Basically, as the story begins, the Hand of the King, the king's main advisor, has just died. The king has gone to Ned Stark, his friend, and is asking him to become the new Hand. This book follows lots of people's stories, most notably Jon, Eddard Stark's bastard son. You have Sansa, who's his daughter, kind of very pretty, respectful girl, and Arya, who doesn't want to be a pretty, respectful daughter, she wants to be a knight. Daenerys Targaryen, daughter of the previous king, the Mad King, who was killed. Cersei, who's the queen, and definitely evil. As evil as they come, really. I think the thing with epic fantasy books, something they all manage to do, and I remember this with Maggie Fury's books as well, they always seem to have characters you get to know really intimately on both sides of the war, and that's something this really does as well. You end up not rooting for one side over the other because the author has introduced you to people on both sides and you see them both as human now. You don't want one to die for the glory or for the cause. You think about people as people and you value their lives more. But yeah, if you haven't read Game of Thrones yet, I really recommend it to anyone. It's a really good fantasy book. I'm now off to order the sequel.